Why, hello there, Professor Joel, and welcome to another episode of Planet Scrappy Reviews. I'm just doing some Scrappy-Doo episodes during the summer. I'm on a bit of a YouTube hiatus, and I'll be returning with my regular Scooby-Doo content in September. But for now, I figured I'd just put out an episode a week with some of these Scrappy-Doo shorts because they don't take me as long as a regular episode, and thus I, get some regular content out there for anyone who is interested in to enjoy. So anyway, today we are covering Stow-Aways, which originally aired on November 15th, 1980, and it is the third part of the second episode of the Richie Rich / Scooby-Doo show. This episode sees the gang accidentally taking a trip on a boat out to sea. Here they encounter an angry sailor as well as a man-eating shark. At 7 minutes long, this episode goes by quick, so let's get on with the review. The episode begins with the gang on an ocean dock. Shaggy is hungry and ready to faint due to lack of food.
If we don't find food soon, I'm gonna faint.
On the dock, they see a boat that doubles as a restaurant called Captain Jack's. Unfortunately, the advertising sign is pointing at the wrong boat.
Captain Jack's Restaurant, now open. That's for us, guys. Let's go.
So the gang have entered the wrong ship. The ship starts to sail, and our gang are now headed off to sea. Scrappy is impressed and happy, however Scooby and Shaggy are in a rush to get off the boat. Out on deck, Shaggy hears a man saying that if he finds any stowaways, he'll throw them off the ship and into the sea where they will be food for the sharks.
Don't worry, Captain. If there's stowaways aboard, I'll find them and throw them to the sharks.
Scrappy, as carefree as ever, begins to make a lot of racket playing shuffleboard and fishing, where he eventually catches a shark. The crew hand finds Scooby and starts to chase them around the boat.
Stowaways! They won't get away. Now look at here.
We then get our chase scene for the episode, and we get some random hijinks involving the man-eating shark, and we get the gang escaping on a Lifecraft rowboat, which the shark tries to eat.
Shark!
And eventually the shark wrecks their boat. Using some clever thinking, the gang use the shark to water ski to shore, and the episode ends. I give this episode a 2 out of 10. The crew hand looking for the stowaways is the most boring villain ever. However, the shark turned the episode around and made it somewhat interesting. Again, I don't hate this episode, but I have no plans to ever watch it again. I'm not a Scrappy hater, I just don't like the comedic episodes, and Scrappy, unfortunately, was part of most of those funny episodes. I prefer a little bit of spookiness. And I do remember that watching this video or this episode back when I was like 4 or 5 back in 1980. And I guess because I remember it from way back then, 41 years later, it is, I guess, memorable. So 2 out of 10. And I think I only remember this episode just because it has sharks in it. And like most people, I have a fascination with sharks. Anyway, I want to thank you for any views, likes, subscribes, and shares. And I want to thank anyone who's a Scrappy-Doo hater for not unsubscribing. As I mentioned above or below or whenever else, I do plan on reviewing every Scooby-Doo episode out there, and that just involves the Scrappy-Doo episodes. And my regular Scooby-Doo content will come out in September when I'll be doing the new Scooby-Doo movies. Anyway, until next week when I will be covering Mummy's the Word, stay spooky.
Don't worry, Captain. If there's stowaways aboard, I'll find them and throw them to the sharks.